Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm particularly happy that the chairman of the session, being a distinguished medical doctor himself, has covered a lot of the technical grounds. And it is left to me to look at what we can call the software that must drive the next few years of the strategic plan of the Nigerian Governors Forum. And the topic I have to deal with that is current state of the health sector at the sub-national level. The issues that gratifyingly have been raised regarding investments in hospitals and things like that, the inability to penetrate the community where these health problems lie, the inability to immerse the community in taking responsibility for their own health as individuals. These are the things that I will allude to or assume as we look through this in the next few minutes. But let me move in seamlessly from where Mr. Chairman stopped. He talked a lot, made references to the tertiary, secondary hospitals. And I want to congratulate the Governors Forum, particularly the Secretariat, for choosing 50 years after 1964, which was the year that the University College Hospital in Ibadan was recognized as the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, best tertiary care institution in the whole of the Commonwealth. And it was really an achievement that is the pride of all nations in Africa. But then it didn't stop there. 1964, 50 years ago, was also when the Lagos University Teaching Hospital was established under the leadership of Chief M.A. Majekodunmi. But one thing that was particularly interesting in this case was whereas the teaching hospitals performed, or the teaching hospital at that time performed very well, he knew that the burden of disease, death, did not reduce. And so when the Lagos University experience came, it was to revamp the situation. And what did he do? He not only went beyond Luth, but he went to create what indeed is the prototype of the first primary health care arrangement in this country. And Governor Fashola is particularly fortunate to have benefited from that. And Lagos, and by the same token, Nigeria did. Because as federal minister, he was directly responsible for the federal territory of Lagos. And he made sure that the entire territory was served equally. And this is the reason the chairman focused on accessibility, was that those 11 centers were to serve each of the 11 wards of Lagos Federal Territory. Now, what are we saying? We are saying that the community must be reached. And when we are talking of the current state, it is actually to say what is the present situation. And let me remind us that time is a threefold present. When we are talking of the present situation, let us note the meaning of present. Time is a threefold present. The past as a present memory. So we need to know how far we have come. The present as we are experiencing it now, and the future as a present expectation. So we are already building the future we want to enter at this point in time. And how is the NGF building it? In the first instance, it has committed itself to a strategic plan of lasting from 2014 to 2016. And it has a strategic thrust, which has been very stoutly expressed as a resolve to action. And what does this consist in? It actually means that at the highest level of the plan of action for their state, they have committed themselves to implementing primary health care policy at the subnational levels in their states. Whereas the conditions are uncertain, and that is the milieu in which activities occur, it is also, they know that in spite of the relative unavailability of resources, they would forge ahead and achieve the goal of making primary health care a very sustainable program. And what does it really involve? It involves mobilizing resources for meeting the needs of the principal layers of action for optimum productivity in the operations of the healthcare system, and also shaping the future by means of anticipating what is going to happen within the health sector and also outside the health sector, but all of them moving together in the same direction. This means that proactive measures must be taken and preventive measures must be taken. And let us also warn that it is not an easy thing. Professor Ransom Kuti could do that much, but not much more than that. Therefore, every element of the society has to be involved. And because of this, there must be trade-offs and priorities adjusted and coordinated. And as our chairman said just a few minutes ago, he said this does not come easily. It has to be worked out, and it requires a lot of brain work. Now, when the NGF says they have a strategic thrust, what exactly does it mean? And I am very happy that within the Governors Forum are generals. At least we can locate a former 3-star general among them. So they know what it is to engage in combat. And thrust is a combat term. It means you use appropriate weapon. It means you train the way to use that weapon, and then you charge at your target, in which case these are the health problems, and produce change that will result in the lowering of mortality, lowering of morbidity, but much more importantly, increasing the human capacity for development and productive work. And so it is important that all hands must be on deck and must be employed in the direction to cause desired change. Now, it is important in being able to do this to distinguish between what we commonly call the health sector and what is also the health system. They are not exactly the same. The health sector has its origin in the total economy of a community, the state, and so on. It's simply a segment of that. But the health system is an assembling of various organizations, individuals together, making sure that one interacts with the other, and being the entire system, the entire assemblage operating to make all the members of the society have productive lives because they have the capacity. And this is very, very important. And because of this, we must now examine what exactly we have to do in this regard. Let me quote a statement of Professor Ransom Kuti when it comes to the current situation, which is rather stochastic. Yeah. Stochastic in the sense that there is a lot of disturbance. The funding or contributions of the external development agencies are hardly dovetailed into systems development, and even those within the country need to be better mobilized. And what he says is, what he said is this: the proliferation of uncoordinated services in the country is due to the vacuum caused by the absence of a national healthcare delivery system into which external development agency funds and others could be plugged into, and which they could copy so that their projects can assist in building the system of the country. Now, what is the subnational system? Briefly, let us look at the subnational system where the health sector must be appraised and worked on. In the first instance, there are the geographic zones, 6 of them. Secondly, there are the states. Thirdly, there is the local government area. Fourthly, there is the ward community. Fifthly, there are the neighborhoods, estates, and streets, agglomeration of streets. And then fourthly, there are the households and the family. And it is important both for funding and sustainability that the roles of each of these segments needs to be articulated and also worked out, because everybody has a part to play in reducing mortality and also using the facilities to the best advantage. And it is important, therefore, that if we will not waste resources, which unfortunately has been the bane and is currently the bane of the health sector, we must be able to know what each level of these activities must do. And then whenever funds come, whether through internal resources from the federal government or a national health fund, they are identified as to where they will best be used. But then there must be, at the state level and at the local government level, mechanisms and facilities to be able to utilize this appropriately. This is how much we can take by virtue because of the time limitation, but I hope during the discussions we'll have more. Thank you very much.